Julio Urias is the real example of hard work pays off. From a beginner to becoming the Los Angeles Dodgers ace, he's come a long way. But we kid you not, his journey wasn't easy. In this video, we'll tell you everything you need to know about Urias' journey to becoming the ace of the Dodgers and the struggle he had to go through. So without further ado, let's get right into it. First off, this is how Urias' journey began. Nobody becomes a star baseball player out of luck alone, and Urias has proved this several times. Born in 1996, the player was always involved in playing baseball. From what we know, as a teenager, he was part of the Mexico national youth team, and this became his way to the Dodgers. He was only 14 when Los Angeles Dodgers scout Mike Brito met him. Not to mention, he was the same person to scout Fernando Valenzuela in the late 70s. Meeting Brito was the first step because later, at 15, the Dodgers discovered how good of a player he was at a showcase in Oaxaca, and finally, he signed with the team on his 16th birthday. Next up, he made his debut and showed his abilities. When Urias made his debut, he was the youngest player in the whole league, but that never stopped him from striking out 6 batters over 3 innings. In the latter part of 2014, the baseball player was selected as the minor league pitcher of the year and was invited to join the major league spring training camp. At such a young age, he already had several titles and achievements to show. For those who don't know, he was ranked as the top left-handed pitching prospect by the MLB pipeline. Along with that, MLB.com also ranked him as the 8th best prospect in the game. The same year, he got promoted to the AAA Oklahoma City Dodgers and was once again invited to join the spring training. To date, when the player is asked about the journey, he says that his career was a lot about being patient because when the team signed him, he was still young, eager to learn, and nervous. Recently, while talking about his thoughts and wishes as an inexperienced player, the baseball star said many things. According to him, he wanted to conquer the world and throw all his time playing. But with time, he understood that what he was doing was a business and that things happen, and he had to learn all of that. Moving on, now he's the star that every baseball player wishes to be. The player is now 26 years old, and he's just completed the 2nd full season as a major league starting pitcher. Not just that, but his teammates see him as someone dominant. Apart from that, he's steadily present on his famous team, where several other players can easily achieve a lot more attention than him. In 2021, he was leading the majors in wins, and in 2022, we saw him lead the National League in ERA, which essentially presented him as the best pitcher of the time. However, all of this didn't come to him without patience. As Urias stated himself, his career really was a lot of patience. Because of his young age, the Dodgers had to be extremely careful with the innings. In fact, we also learned that they did his promotion at a much slower pace than his teammates. This was to make sure that his teenage years didn't lead him on the wrong path. But then again, he achieved some milestones before others did. He is only 5 years in, and he was already invited to attend the extended spring training assignment. But we'll have to say that he deserved it after the impressive rookie season. But right after that, he had to undergo shoulder surgery and miss an entire year. But the trouble didn't end there. This surgery was followed by a conservative usage and hybrid roles in 2019 and 2020. Fans highly appreciated these steps because the team was trying to keep the player in his best health. Not just that, they also wanted to keep his prized arm safe so that it could bring the most out of it later in the season. And all of this was accompanied by frustration and some phases of hopelessness as well. Not to mention, Urias was thankful to be put in that situation. While talking about the missed year and the shoulder surgery, Urias said that he never stopped working or learning. Neither did he stop doing whatever he could to make sure he was ready when his moment arrived. According to him, he felt like his moment was in 2022, and that was when he was supposed to record the last out. Not just that, the player says that he's thankful for what happened and that he was put in that situation. His moment became a big victory for the league, and he was credited to have sealed the league's first championship in 3 decades. Up next, Urias now enters this postseason. With so much already on his resume, Urias enters this postseason with many more titles. He's regarded as the best starter and the best closer, and with all this, he continues to dominate through the season. With him on the team, the Dodgers could win a franchise record 111 games and outscored other teams by 334 runs. Not just that, they also boasted the lowest ERA and highest OPS in the sport simultaneously. But now that they're set to enter a National League division against the San Diego Padres, we can see how murky their pitching plan is. Craig Kimbrell's struggles have finally become fruitful, as the Dodgers will go with a closer-to-committee approach. Blake Treinen, the team's reliever, has only appeared in the season 5 times, and later he was out because of an injury. Dustin May, who's also one of the best pitchers, cannot play as he recovers from Tommy John surgery and is also reported to have fighting tightness in the back. And last, Walker Buehler, who's been the team's ace for the past 2 years, is out until 2023 because of his torn ulnar collateral ligament. So now Urias would start Tuesday's game, while Clayton Kershaw will take hold for Wednesday's Game 2. They could have chosen anyone else. After all, pitchers like Tony Gonsolin, Tyler Anderson, and Andrew Heaney were available. Not just that, relievers like Brusdar Graterol and Chris Martin could have closed out the game as well. This explains how the league is always creative for the pitching staff. Following up, being the ace hasn't been easy for him either. The struggles in his career were never restricted to playing, but he has been bullied for his eye issues by the fans of the opposing team, Padres fans to be specific. But before we tell you about anything, we wonder, when will these people learn? It feels like it'll take a whole apocalypse for them to finally understand that taunting others isn't cool. As a child, Urias dealt with eye issues. The player was diagnosed with a benign periorbital mass in his eye, which was removed through surgery 4 times until 2015. Other than that, he went through several eye procedures when he was still young, and these procedures are even documented in Jorge Castillo's feature in the LA Times. In that story, the player revealed that the Mexican fans used to taunt him and make fun of his partially closed eye in San Diego. But because he's a very nice and kind person, he knew how to respond without taking the jokes too personally. Apparently, he had told one person who taunted him, "You guys have nothing," and that was with one eye. Imagine if I had 2. Lastly, for those who think it's just fan rivalry, it's not. For sports, there's always some trash, and we get it. But then there are mean acts and words that can hurt a person and can even tear them down. Bringing such stuff in sports rivalry is just disgusting. Before we make a comment like that, it's important to know that athletes spend most of their lives making their bodies stay in the best form possible. The same is the case with Urias. If it weren't for his fit body and great health, he wouldn't have been able to be where he is now. When we talk about how he became the ace of the Dodgers, we should also mention that he had to go through over 10 surgeries at a very young age just to play baseball. While other athletes have to keep their bodies in the best health, Urias also has to deal with a rare disease. If you ask us, he deserves to be championed for all the lifelong struggles that he's had with his eye condition more than his playing skills. When the news came out, the Dodgers fans weren't pleased about it, and this event led to a whole social media war between the two clubs. But thankfully, Urias never let such things get in his way, and he is where he should be. And with this, it's time for us to wrap this up, fam. What do you think about this video? Let us know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back soon with more amazing videos, and we'll see you at the next one.